Hey everybody, this is Zafer. Welcome to episode 5 of Hashtag The Cool Breeze podcast, where I will sit down with Rash ID, a melodic progressive house DJ that has supported my music and the music of other artists all over many times in his mix shows. If you haven't heard of him, be sure to check him out on his SoundCloud and YouTube, where he uploads pretty daily, like weekly mixes, hour-long mixes, and they're always wonderful, fantastic. So we're going to jump right into the call here and chat with the man and see what's going on. I hope you guys all enjoy and have a wonderful day.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, bro. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Nice to finally meet you, man. Even though it's over video call, but get to see your face, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. Welcome
Can
to
you
the
hear me
show,
all right?
brother.
Can you hear me clearly, yeah?
Yeah, this is much better. It was bad doing it from my phone.
Alright. So I'll stick my headphones in, you know what I mean, if it's not very clear.
Nah, I can understand you. It's cool, man. So, Rash, my man Rash, the DJ with a mission. So why don't you just tell the rest of the world and tell us just a little bit about yourself and what you do for me, Rash.
Yeah. I mean, a little bit about myself, personal level. I'm married. I've got 2 kids.
Okay.
I'm 41 years old. Even though, you might not think I look it, but,
Nah.
But yeah, and I have a passion for music, I guess. I've always loved music and sports, really, those 2 big passions in life. And I've pretty much followed the musical scene over the last 2 decades, really. I started out from probably about 18, 19 when I first started clubbing and going out to see DJs. And I think for me, it was always about the DJ, it was always about the music. So when I went out clubbing, I was like a real DJ enthusiast, always looking at the DJ, going to the booth, seeing what sort of things they do, and it was that really sort of interested me the most. So I've always been a DJ enthusiast, listening to various mixes. There's lots and lots of DJs up close and personal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Watching in action. It kind of started off for me, I suppose, in terms of DJs. Like Sasha, John Digweed, Daniel. Videos like that started off. It was like that dark, progressive sort of tech sound to it.
Okay.
Which has kind of evolved over the years now, hasn't it? But yeah, that's kind of where my musical sort of background comes from.
Okay.
And I used to have decks, believe it or not. It was the vinyls back in those days.
Yeah.
So I had the Technics 1210s, so I remember sort of using them for several years. And then you get married, you settle down, and then you don't have time for it, you got kids. So I kind of got rid of all the equipment. And then just recently, maybe about a couple of years ago, I started getting back into it. There's reasons behind why I did it, but yeah, I only got back into it for probably the last couple of years. Really. And it's all changed. It's all data now. It's all visual, isn't it? It's completely different. Back in the day, you had to use your ears and snap for the. Now it's all visual. So that's the biggest change for me, I suppose.
That's awesome, though.
So yeah, that's kind of my background.
So
I work, in terms of professionally, I work for the housing industry. I work for property management.
Oh, okay.
That's my job, isn't it? Really?
That's your job
pays the
away from
wages,
your
man.
job, right?
Yeah, that's what pays the wages, man.
Yeah. All right, man. So you've been DJing. You got into DJing a couple years ago. Can you tell me what specifically brought you into melodic progressive house? Like what attracted you to that genre? When did you hear it, or what was it? What moment for you?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back a long time, even before I started DJing, because I've always been in sort of melodies. So in the early days, it was like more trance, like Paul Van Dyke, Ferry Coaster, all those DJs, I've heard them all.
Yeah.
So it was always a bit harder, but it was always sort of for the melodies, wasn't it, really, at the end of the day, that's what trance music kind of And gradually, as time's gone by, I think what changed it for me was when I first John Digweed, that was the first time I really felt going back now.
Sorry. Say that one more time. I apologize. I accidentally muted you. Just go back like 2 sentences and keep going.
Yeah, it was. I think for me, when I heard John Digweed
Mm-hmm.
in the late '90s, I think it was maybe early '90s. And it was the first time I'd heard this sort of sound that was like underground sound that I'd never heard before, with all these noises and melodies and things like that.
Yeah.
That kind of got me into that sound. But when I look back on it now, I'd say it's probably more like dark, progressive, more techno. I'd say it's more that kind of sound. But certainly more recently, I'd say probably over the last 5 or 6 years, I heard the likes of Phil Byron, who's Skewer now, isn't he? He comes under the guise of Skewer.
Yeah.
And because there came a point, Donovan, where I felt there wasn't enough music out there, there wasn't enough progressive sets out there, and I was struggling to find them, in all honesty, right? And I used to listen to Phil's mixes quite a lot, believe it. And I used to do podcasts, and he used to put sets up on there, monthly shows. And that's kind of how I used to look forward to his sets. And then I found Roll Weldon as well, so I started listening to his music on a monthly basis. And these are the guys that actually kind of met the sound that I like. That's why I sort of continue with them. But in all honesty, I felt like there wasn't enough. I mean, there was 2MK doing Summer Never Ends. You had Dayan's mixes as well. You had the odd few here there.
Yeah.
And those were the guys that I've been kind of listening to over the years. And also listening to singles, not just listening to singles from artists. My phone's full of single tracks from artists that I listen to. But on a personal level, being a DJ enthusiast, I always like my music in a long mix. I don't like to stop and start. I like it to sort of build and either play with the melodies, take it up to crescendo, bring it down, bring it up, that sort of thing. So then I used to listen to these mixes, right? But then I always felt 70% my liking, 60%. There's always the odd tune that I wasn't too keen on. So then I've always understood the theory behind DJing. I know what it takes. I know what it involves. So, and then it was my wife that brought it to my attention, and my brother as well, that told me that you can now get controllers all in one. Because back in the day you used to have separate decks, you have to have a separate mixer, which you still do. A lot of people use that. But just as a kind of start of just to get me back into the controller, which is like an all-in-one basic kit. And that's when I started again and felt like, okay, I'm getting back into it, I'm enjoying it. So obviously I've upgraded my kit now and I've got a professional kit for DJing. But that's kind of how I got into the melody sound, and obviously listening to your music as well. I came across your tracks. I didn't know who you were, but I listened to your music and I loved it. And I think I played it in a few sets, and I think you got in touch, didn't you? And that's when our relationship kind of started. But I had no idea who you were, I just knew his name, ZX Fair, and I just loved your music, so I was included in it, But it all started out as a bit of fun, I'd say, for me, and it still is. It's just, I'm having a bit of fun. I like doing what I'm doing. I'd rather being selfish than listening to it myself. I kind of got encouraged to go and share it with people. So I thought, okay, then I'll do that. But I'm always a bit like, even when I have to submit or publish a set, I always get a bit nervous thinking, should I do it or not? Because I'm putting myself out there to be judged. Do you know what I mean? And that's not why I started. That's just not why I did it. I only do it because I feel I have good knowledge around the musical scene over the last 2 decades. I followed the dance EDM scene for quite a long time, so I've come across virtually all the DJs. I've heard all the top superstar DJs. And for me, and this is the thing, you see, even though I've listened to mixes and I've listened to sets and I've listened to other DJs, I've always wanted to know who made the track, who the producer is. That is key. Without that, I have to know. I need to know who made the track. You see what I mean? If I like the track. Especially back in the day, that information wasn't always readily available. You'd have to DJ, you try and find out for white label, or you hear it somewhere else, you go, I know what that track is, you know what I mean? But, so for me, I've always given credit to the producers. Like, I always feel like without the producers, there wouldn't be these tracks to play.
Absolutely,
and that's why it's important for me that I recognise the producers that put the effort into making these tunes. Some of them are not going to make huge amounts of money. They're not going to become millionaires, but they do it because they love it, and they're passionate for it. And that's where I felt, well, mean, I can go and play tracks from the likes of Sasha or Digweed or your other superstar. I can do that.
Yeah, right.
I feel like, no, I want to give some producers that aren't commonly known. Because at times I thought, I listen to this music, most people I've come across don't particularly like it, yeah. But I don't know if people just don't know about it, do you know what I mean? And some people have liked it, to be fair. I've had positive feedback as well. But in a way, I've always thought of it as like underground music. It's not in the popular mainstream.
Right.
Sorry if I'm rambling on yet.
No, it's okay. Go ahead, man.
But yeah, it's not popular mainstream music, but it's music I love, and I just think I just want to raise awareness. Let's get it out there. Let's let people know who these producers are. You know, look at the talent that they've got, and they've come up with some amazing stuff. And let's put it in a set, because some people don't like to listen to singles all the time. They like it in a mix, and it kind of flows, and it's like a longer tune, like you said last time. So it's just hit and miss, really. I don't mind either, but I think that's kind of where I came from. My love for that genre, and I just love melodic music. I love melodies. I love the deeper sound. I love I don't know how to describe what I play, but it's almost like somebody said it's quite moody and dark, and I thought, okay, I never really thought of it like that before. Do you know the noises you get in the background? I call them horns. I don't know the official right term for it, right? It's the only way I can describe it to you. It's like a haunting sound, isn't it? It's like a continuous background of either your higher notes or your lower notes, but you have that in your tracks as well, don't you, Reddy? Yeah. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That continuous background noise.
It's like I don't know what you call it. Arpeggiations, but they're like laced with a bunch of reverb and delay and the stereo on it.
You know what I mean? So I don't know what sense you get when you listen to my sets. I've tried to change them a little bit here. There, I've kept some deeper ones, some a bit more lighter feels to it. It varies. It depends on the producers and the kind of music I've got. But I'll try and stick to a certain genre of music that I like. Yeah. I don't know what do you feel when you listen to my sets? What kind of impressions do you give out? What do you feel?
I think you do a great job, honestly. Typically, for me personally, whenever I listen to like mixes and stuff, or only probably like 2 times is when I'm like playing video games. So if I'm doing like a long gaming session, I've got to have the latest YouTube mix playing, while I'm doing it, and then long drives. So if I do a long drive, I would definitely listen to a mix from a DJ from either or.
That's how I usually listen to it. There's always the long drives, because obviously with my work I travel quite a lot. I can go through a couple of sets in a commute to work. You know what I mean? So that's when I tend to enjoy it the most as well, even long drives. I don't do much gaming, to be honest, but yeah, certainly the drives, and just when I'm like relaxing at home, or if I put it on TV now. But honestly, I feel like nowadays I don't get to enjoy my sets as much as before, because I'm always working on the next one.
Yeah,
does that make sense? You know all about that. You know what I mean? You literally put all the effort in making it, so you've heard it a few times, you put it together, and then you're moving on to the next project, so you don't get to enjoy it like maybe the others do. That's what I found.
What you do is you save the enjoyment for when everybody else is enjoying it, and then you just enjoy it with them. So that's how I make my music. I make all the music. I made a whole bunch of it, and I'm just gonna release it. And some of these tracks, man, I don't even remember. Like, I just have made them so fast in my life. Like, I just sat down, blasted it out over the course of a week, and it's done. And I scheduled, and by the time that one's done, I've already started up the new project. In fact, man, I'm so bad at this. I will literally be like 75% done with the track, and I'm like, ooh, I got another idea already. So I open up a new one, and it's like,
at least you can keep chopping and changing, can't you, if you want to? See, for me, I find when I'm mixing, right, because I do put a lot of effort in. I don't think I just go in a freestyler mix and I upload it. I don't do that anymore. I did it initially the first few mixes, the first time I started out.
Oh, really?
But when I started getting more listeners, then I felt the need to up the quality and the standard of the mixes as well. Yeah. I put a lot of effort into making sure that I prepare them. I try and order them in a certain way. I try and make sure I harmonically sort of mix them as well, so that they mix with each other. Sometimes you do get tracks that actually I feel should be played earlier in the set, but I kind of get forced into playing it a little bit later in the set or vice versa. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to harmonically get it right. And if I try and do it by BPM, etc., then the harmonies don't always mix together either.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to always aim to like get perfection with the mixes. It's very tough. But certainly I feel I put a lot of effort into getting them right and trying to make sure the quality of the mixing is good. And I think that's one of the things that I've learned from doing this. Mm-hmm. My listeners appreciate that. I do put like I don't just put any old crap out there. I'll make sure that it does you guys justice, it does the label justice, and it does the artist justice, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I know people can put mixes out there, and some people don't care, they're just interested in the tracks, they're not really too bothered about how the transitions are, etc. But for me, I'm a DJ enthusiast. But I actually, and believe me, I've heard some mixes out there that have made me think, whoa man, I've actually not put mixes up that are way better than the ones that are up now, honest to God.
Oh, yeah.
Just because of a simple, I feel like maybe I could have done better there. I thought, no, I'm not uploading that, and I'll redo it if I have to.
Right.
But I think that's what my listeners, I think, appreciate as well. There's quality there, do you know what I mean? I'm not just putting any mixes up willy-nilly. I do spend my time getting to know the tune, getting to understand the intro, the outro, sort of melodies, the energy, do you know what I mean? And I'll try and play with that. And that just is the only thing that's subjective. I don't know whether it's right or not. I do it my way. I like to sometimes build up a set so it gradually builds and keeps on building until you reach the end. Right. On other occasions, I'll build it up and then take it to a crescendo and then bring it down and then bring it up again and bring it down. So that's probably where I play around with it, and I think where should I place the tunes and how should I make the set flow.
Right. Absolutely.
But other than that, I mean, I don't know what people think. I mean, I'm actually quite surprised at the number of subscribers that I've had, actually. Remember that time I was speaking to you and I was on like...
Oh, hey, by the way, man, congrats on
40 subscribers, weren't I?
Subscribers, that's right.
That's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't deserve that, man.
Yes, you do. You've been working, man. That's great. Congratulations.
No, I appreciate it, buddy. I appreciate it. But you know, I'm like you. It's not about the numbers.
Yeah.
It's just, we do what we love.
Right.
And this is always a consequence of that. Whatever comes your way is a bonus. If it's a good thing, it's a bonus. At the end of the day, I'm still going to do it whether I have 10 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers. It makes no difference. Do you know what I mean? Yep. But it's just reassuring in that, I am going in the right direction. I am doing something that people are enjoying. Because sometimes you just don't know. You don't know how to engage it. You get some positive feedback, and you just don't know. Sometimes you get some dislikes, so you don't know. You can't please everybody, can you?
Exactly.
You can't please everyone.
Exactly. You really can't. And you can't aim to do it either. You can't aim to like try to please every single person that follows you or supports your work. You just
that's where I've kind of I found that the challenge really, because I started out doing almost like, no, I'm going to play what I enjoy, what I love. If you like it, great. If you don't, that's not my problem.
Right.
Yeah? That was always the attitude, and that's how I started off my channel. And then it kind of got to a point maybe about 6 months ago where I thought, because you get an idea of your listeners and what they like, what sets are doing well, which ones aren't. Yeah. So I kind of got a feel of what sort of music some of my listeners are into. So that when I play sets kind of like around your sort of music, your sort of melodic progressive style, I get a different kind of feedback. I know who those guys are. I know they like that music. Yeah. And then on other occasions, I'll play something more energetic, more like trancey a little bit, more deeper, and then I get good reaction of those from another set of listeners, if you like. Yeah. So I kind of know, what area to play around with, and I'll try and mix it up a little bit, so I won't keep putting out the same music all the time. You might get the odd deeper set, you might get the odd really trancey set, you might get one that's a more housey set, more lighter, sort of fun, relaxing set. So that's kind of where I try and change it up a bit. So I try and please everybody, but as you say, you can't please everyone.
Nah.
And one thing I don't do now is try and take it like, so if people don't like it, it's not to take it personally.
Nah, you can't.
People like what they like. You can do what you like at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So, that's kind of the way I've been heading.
And if it makes you like happy to do it, where you're just like in the moment, having fun, it's just a fun game to you. You're just pushing buttons and making things happen, and at the expense of music, it's just absolutely fulfilling. If you get that from it, then you've won.
it's a win-win situation for me. I just think we've got some unbelievable producers out there at the moment.
Oh,
and they need to be known. They need to let the names out and let people know that these guys are out there making amazing music.
Absolutely.
This is what it sounds like. So I try my best to try and make it. So that people do like I did that Emerging Shows one, didn't I, recently? I was wondering whether to do it or not. I know they've got their own DJs and they can mix, etc. And he's a label that I like, they play music a little bit slightly different to some of the other ones, a bit more heavy at times, a bit more energetic. Yeah. Good labels. So okay, and I do it because these labels like yourself and the others, they put me on their promo list, and I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Because I was doing it at cost to me for quite a while, buying those tunes and then putting them out there.
I know, that's amazing, man. Thank you.
Thank
you so much.
Your missus is like, I'm going to say beat 4, like Spotify or shit. Jeez. So, but she knows I like it, so she never really said anything. But then when I started getting the promos, that really helped, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for me, it's just a little bit of me giving back, saying, look, you've given me these tracks, so let me do a little mix for you and just showcase your label, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for me also, there's nothing in it for me. I'm not trying to gain anything. It's just, this is what I do at the end of the day. I just enjoy doing what I do. Man. As I said, if anything, it comes at a cost to me. I don't make money out of it at all. Still occasionally when I like a track and I don't get promos, so I obviously go on and I purchase those tracks.
Yeah.
But you never know.
But not for me. You won't have to purchase.
I mean, you're a producer, so you can sell stuff. You can make music and put it out there and let people, enjoy it.
Of course, man.
But I can't do that, you see. So
you're doing it your way. You do it your way. You're a DJ, so you have to. Your job is to find all the other music that's out there that's good, and you got to put it all together. And that's not an easy job, all right? Like, somebody's got to do it. I can't do it, okay? Because whenever it comes to me doing like an hour-long mix or something, I literally just don't have the patience to sit there and mix songs together. But I have the patience to mix melodies together, you know? Like,
I know what you mean.
It's just what makes me happy. I'm not happy to sit there and do that at the DJ controller, but I'm more than happy to sit at a keyboard and figure out the next, chord for this song. It's the same thing, but just different.
Same thing, but just different.
Different places.
I mean, to be honest, don't get me wrong. I mean, that's what I said. I've always been fascinated by producers as well, and this is why over the years I've known lots of acts and lots of artists.
Yeah.
So I've always wanted, in my heart, I've always felt like I want to give production a go, see how it works. And when I contacted you about it, so is this something for me? Can I do this? I've never ever tried it before. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I've got a lot of the knowledge and a lot of ideas and melodies bouncing around in my head. Yeah. But I don't know how to put them out there and sort of work the softwares. So that's I've never really given it a go. And I've thought about it recently, whether I sort of invest in like a proper kit in terms of the computer, the desk, etc. And just set myself up where I've got the opportunity to maybe try and produce music with your help, hopefully, and maybe get something out there. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like the DJing side is I learn all the time, and I kind of got a grasp of that. But, and I do enjoy that. I know you saying I actually do enjoy that part, especially when I crank it up. It's loud.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I can tell you're enthusiastic.
Loud, and it's just I'm in the zone. I'm in the zone there, and I'm concentrating track after track, messing about with the timings and trying to get the loops and the beats, etc.
Right.
So for me, it's constantly working. So I stay busy like that.
Yeah.
But it's just the production side. I don't know. I've never given it a go, so I don't really know how I do. I don't know how you go about it.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those, right? See that. I need someone to show me. I need someone to sit with me and say, look, this is this and this is that, and rather than sort of watching tutorials. I mean, I'm not such a lot of people find them very, very helpful.
Yeah.
And I have used them myself, but I find I'm that old school. I need someone to show me. So you press this button here, or you go into that bit there, and then you can sort of pick up on it a bit more.
Oh yeah.
But I am going to give it a try though over the next few months. I'm just going to set myself up.
Good.
And I'm going to give it a try. I watch your videos and see what I can do maybe.
Yeah, man. In fact, I'm going to be doing more videos on my channel of just uploading just me working,
Yeah,
just me doing stuff and kind of how you can see how You know, like even though I'm not that great or anything, but I think it's just a great insight to people that are interested in how it's done, just to see like, oh, that's how you make that cool little fluttery sound that he always uses.
To me, when I see you do that, I feel like, you know, to me, like you're doing it quick time, you know what you're doing, you sort of decide what you chords, you look at equalizer, etc., things like that.
Yeah.
For you, it's all, you know, like you can link up the different instruments with the different parts of the EQ, etc. For me, I need a bit more like, you know, I think, is it one of those things, the more you do it, then you just kind of get used to that repetition?
Yes, it's a repetition thing, and it's also just a little bit about understanding where sounds sit at in the frequencies. So really, if you understand how to interpret like where the bass appears at in the frequency spectrum, or where the treble is, or where like your hi-hats appear at in your EQ equalizer, this is basically all that allows you to do is just raise and lower the volume of that frequency.
Of each of those,
So once you figure out, and this is a repetition thing, so obviously you make 20 or so songs, and then you're like, oh, okay, so that's why you're going to reduce the low end on your frequency, because there's just so much bass information that it makes the whole rest of the track sound weak for whatever reason, or I can't hear my mid-range guitars because of this. So you start learning. That's where the balance comes into play. So you're balancing one frequency against the other one. Yeah.
I mean, one thing I'll say with your tracks, right? I mean, I've heard hundreds of thousands of tracks, I've noticed with your tracks, right? They gradually, the best way I can describe it is like the decibel level. Yeah? Almost like you start up and you gradually sort of build up, right? And then you get to your 50-second, your 30-second interval, then your 45-second interval. And around the 45-second or the minute mark, I noticed that it always picks up a level on the decibel level.
Yes.
Now, obviously you do that to the piano, right? And it gradually builds up, and then as a single track, that's great. So you see it building up, and boom, and then at some point eventually. I call it kicking. I don't know what you call it. You know, like when everything comes in together.
The drop, basically. Yeah, I mean, if it all comes together.
What's the term for it? Go on, you tell me what you say.
The drop,
when it all comes together and it just goes boom.
Yeah, that's the drop.
I call it kicking.
Yeah, it's the drop. That's the drop. Yeah, you're
the drop. You call it the drop. Yeah, the drop. Yeah, the drop. Yeah, I call it a kicking. You know, it kicks in like a muscle.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, it's supposed to like take you to the next
level. I was just wondering, and this is just my humble suggestion. There's nothing wrong with what you do, but this is from a DJ perspective. Now I'm going to give you a little.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
When I'm mixing, right, and previous track that's finishing, right, it'll have a continuous outro. Just say it finishes with some beats and bass, right? Right? So with your track, it'll build up, so it'll come in at a lower decibel. Now I've got my gains and my max, where I want to leave the decibel levels that set.
Yeah.
So that eventually, as yours builds up, and then say nowadays the intros and outros are really short. I told you that, didn't I, with some of the. So you could have, with the previous track cuts off, your track hasn't fully kicked in yet in terms of the full-on decibel level.
Yeah.
So it's not matching the previous track.
Yeah.
It's not on the level.
Yeah.
It's on a slight drop. And then in about 15, 20, 30 seconds time, it will come up and it will kick in, or the drop will come.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Now my point is, you can have the drop, and you can always have the drop. The drop's going to be there. But you have to lower that decibel level before the drop comes in. Could you not keep that decibel level consistent until you get to the point where you've got all your instruments coming in and you get your drop? You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I know it's not the case with all of them. A lot of them do that. They gradually build up.
Yeah.
Some of them it's just no beats involved either. It just builds up with a haunted sound, and then you gradually like build it in. Now, I have done it with your previous tracks, like say for example, I can't think of the name, but I'll crank the gain up a bit during the mixing, yeah. And as soon as your drop's gonna come, I'll have to knock the gain down because I don't want it to go.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just something for you to think about, maybe. I've seen other tracks where they do that, where the intro is in, and even though the drop's going to come and lots of different instruments are going to come in at that point, the build-up to it is still the same volume level. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That's a mixing problem. Mixing.
That's a mixing problem. Yeah. I mean, I found ways around it. See. I found ways around it. You know, I do loop. I have to loop a lot. I have
Yeah.
to loop the outros quite a lot because certainly with tracks like that where the intros are quite long,
Yeah.
and you don't want that decibel level to drop significantly.
Right.
So I've tried to add loops into it, but loops isn't always easy either because it depends on the loop.
Right.
You could have a section that's just a beat and a drum or a bass, but you could have a section with some musical element in it, and you start looping that, and it just starts to loop the musical bit.
Yeah.
It's going to sound stupid. So. That's where the challenge is for me as a DJ community. But that's the fun of it. I enjoy that. You know, that's the challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, that sounds like that's what DJs do to me. I'm like, I can't imagine.
It's up to us to manipulate
every
that
song
track.
just having the same volume throughout it. And you just, you know, like there are some songs that are going to be louder, some songs that are going to be softer. Yeah. And you're the DJ, so you got to figure that out.
I got to figure that out. No, I know what you mean. And I do that with a lot of tracks. I think just from back in the day to now, this is the difference that I'm seeing. Mm-hmm. I think producers nowadays aren't taking into account too much of the fact of a DJ playing it. Absolutely, their intros are sometimes very abrupt, but they could literally just bang it in on the second one. Or 10 seconds, 15 seconds and bang it's in.
Yeah.
Or even the outros can just end abruptly.
Yeah.
Now, back in the day on the vinyls, you had like a 2-minute intro, 2.5-minute intro with just beats. And so that you could, beat match it, get it in, and at some point get it in at the right time.
Yeah.
But I appreciate as time evolves and music moves on, the intros have gotten shorter and shorter.
It's kind of what the taste of the day is. What labels and stuff, they have to work with so much tunes, and DJs only have so many minutes with their sets, and it's just efficient to have like 4 or 5 minute radio edit types of tracks. But the reason why for me, I noticed that because I would make tracks for people sometimes, and they'd be like, "Hey, like a radio edit."
That's what I mean. Because they're listening to singles, aren't they? People who listen to singles, they just want the meat of it, the crux of it, where it's just literally bang and it ends with a bang. But someone like myself, when you're mixing, that's what I said to you before that. If you think about that, if you want it to be played so, then you have 2 versions. You have a radio edit and you have an extended version.
Yeah.
The extended version usually just has a simple 30 or a minute beats either side. It doesn't even have to be really complicated instrumental stuff at the end of it. It just needs a consistent bass line or some sort of beat to ensure that you can play with the next track that's coming in, and it gives you more time to play with the EQs. Transition, the blends can be a lot better. If you're rushing, then they're going to be quick mixes, quick transitions, quick mid-range controls, end control, quick low-end control. And that's the difference I've found from all the vinyls that I've got compared to the music that gets released now. I appreciate you don't want to put a massive intro and outro on people.
Yeah, you really can't. I mean, I can now because basically I just release my own music however I want, so I can just put whatever I want on it,
But this is it, and that's how most producers, I guess, suppose think that way, don't they? You just want to get their music out there. And most of the time, probably they are listened to as singles, you know what I mean, as opposed to a mix. But no, I just saw it's something that's just giving you a perspective from a DJ side, I suppose. It's good to know both sides.
Yeah, it's good. I'm glad.
Like for me, from a production side, I want to know from a producer side what's the rationale behind it, what's the thinking behind it, things like that. So it helps me with what I do.
Yeah.
Certainly your latest tracks have been. I mean, I've had no problem getting them in and out. I noticed you've definitely added in at least an extra 15 to 30 seconds on some of those. So it builds up to about 45 to a minute, and then it's kind of in.
Yeah.
Which is perfect, you know what I mean? It just gives the DJ that time to sort of play with the sound, listen to it, not rushing getting the other one out, bring it in gradually, let it build up nicely, you know what I mean? Rather than just changing, chopping and changing.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that. I guess maybe I'm old school, I don't know.
No, it's just the way you like to mix. It's the way you like to
mix.
Yeah,
I like to mix, where you shouldn't really know that I've mixed. Do you know what I mean? I believe perfection. If you mix perfectly, you shouldn't really be able to tell that another track's come in. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's very hard to do, though. Do you know what I mean? With all the different harmonies and keys you're playing.
Yes.
That's the other thing.
Yes.
And I don't want to play one key all the time, so that's the thing, is manoeuvring through the different keys without it sounding like, oh, you've gone from key like 2 to like key 9 or 8 to like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's it's just thinking about all that as well. But yeah, it's all good fun, man. I really enjoy it.
Well, it's cool. It's great to hear your perspective from your side as DJing, you know, especially from us as producers, or me as a producer. I don't really, like, to me, DJing is its own world, you know. I don't even think about my songs being played by DJs. It's just the fact that the type of genre that I've got into and that I wanted to be in, that is what I make, you know. And meeting with DJs about it, like yourself, and especially somebody like you, who I really want to shout you out and promote you here, because you go out your way to support the mellow prog scene, you know. And I think that's great. I don't think that I wish there was more of you doing that, you know, which there's more. I'm not saying there isn't, but just the energy and the fact that you go out your way and you just make it all happen, and, you know, you just show love to artists you like, you know, you make mixes dedicated to artists just because you're like, hey, I really like this artist and this is a mix dedicated to him, you know, like, that's amazing, man. I'm grateful for that, but I'm sure the other artists as well appreciate, you know, you taking your time to do that.
And so genuinely, I feel like I'm giving back in a way, because I've been listening to these people for a long time.
Yeah.
It's just they don't know me, I don't know them. I've never been interacted with them. I've never been on social media. I only started on social media recently.
Welcome.
And one of the reasons, genuinely, I've refrained from social media, right, deliberately, because I'm a private person.
Yeah.
But I only went on it genuinely for the music.
Yeah.
I thought, right,
Same.
I wanna see who these people are. Who is that 8 Fair, and who is this raw guy, and who is Keith Harris, and whoever, Alex Sage, and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, and that's how I started off, and then went on to Facebook. You know what I mean? And that's the only reason why I went on social. Because in the past, they were just names. They were names that I listened to, but I knew who they were. I'd follow them and listen to them. Right. Since I've gone onto Facebook and other social media sites, it has almost opened up where I can interact with these individuals. You know what I mean? And,
it's amazing. I love it.
Yeah,
I didn't like social media at first, man. To be honest, I was against it as far as. I just was using it wrong. I was using it to just look at what everybody else was doing, and I wasn't using it as my platform to express myself and what I'm doing. You know, if you turn your attention and kind of look at it that way, where it's like, this isn't about trying to one-up everybody and show off, you know, your next newest thing. This is about, this is an avenue for you to express yourself and your vision and what you like and what your passions are. And you can express it in the form that everybody is receptive to. So, you know, people like to look at their phones and people like to be on social media. So you want to put something there that's you, and they can look at it if they want to, you know. You don't have to look at it. You don't, you know, you can just, you know, unfollow or next or keep scrolling, whatever. But it's just about... It's just, for me, it's starting to become another, like, it's like another limb or something, another way to express myself in this format. So I have to express myself in the social media format. So how do I do that? And I'm still learning this, by the way, Rash. You know, I don't have any of it figured out, you know, but...
That's what I mean. Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, I have the same feelings as you. I feel like, you know, I don't do it because I don't want any sort of... I'm not doing it to like, here, look at me, look who I am. That's why, I mean, I'm not a great at posting. Actually, you know, is it Arcan or Alicio? Yeah. He got in touch with me and says, Rash, you're not putting anything up out there, and you're not managing your musical group, that free melodic one. I says, what? I says, I've not had a chance to put them. I says, I just put it up on YouTube, and hopefully people will go on it and check on it, you know. I said, I don't. But I guess genuinely, from this coming, my real reasons is I feel like, I mean, I don't know how to put it, but you're not going to take me seriously, are you? Do you know what I mean? It's like, who's going to take me seriously? If I'm going to put stuff out there, I'm nobody. Do you know what
exactly, I mean? You're nobody.
I'm no one.
So it's so much. Once you realize, like, hey, I'm just a nobody making music, having fun. This is what this nobody has made. If you want to if you want to support it, you can. I appreciate it, of course, you know. But there's no kind of obligation. You know what I mean? And if you release it like that, so I think it's more like you just take away all the expectations of that track or whatever you're doing away from it. Because whatever you make is not going to be perfect. Absolutely not. And I accept that a lot, you know, because I am a perfectionist in my way, but if I was really a perfectionist, like if I was really how I want it to be, yeah, man, I would probably never have anything released, you
You
know.
can keep striving for that. All you need to keep
Oh my
striving,
God,
and
I would
each
be
time it
stuck
keeps getting
forever.
better. But you never feel like you're there.
Yeah, you just gotta
That's
call
the
it
day you
quits.
stop doing it, then, don't you?
You gotta say I'm done.
You want to keep.
Take your hands off of it.
That's it.
I'm done, and then you ship it, and it's gone, and it's done. You know, and
But you know, one thing I always think that
what?
is like the difference between like me and you, obviously. So you'll sit there at a computer, right, and then you'll
Yeah.
set all your music together, and you think, oh, I like the sound of that. Oh, I'm not sure about that. Oh, I'll chop and change that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, I'll do this, and then I don't know how many times you maybe go through and you'll correct it. You see, with me, once I hit that record button, yeah, see, and I'm on a live mix. There's no more going, but you gotta make sure you get it right. And it's because it's live recording.
Yeah.
That's what I find the biggest challenge there. I've got to perfect it for over an hour and a half or whatever it is that
Yeah.
I'm for. And that's the challenge for me, is
yeah.
to get it bang on. And sometimes I've had a set which are absolutely banging and awesome, and just one mix where I felt I could have done a bit better there, or it just ended on me a bit abruptly and I didn't want it to do me.
Yeah.
And that's the only, like, sometimes things like that where I'm sat there, if I'm producing, I can chop and change it as much as I want before I release it. You know?
I would tell you that even though you can stop and change it, it doesn't necessarily make it any easier on our end. Like, honestly, I would kind of prefer like a start to finish kind of thing with it, whereas like, all right, you just got to make it within an hour and that's it, you know? Because the ability to go back and change every single aspect of that track is a gift and a curse.
Not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
So, I mean, yeah, it's nice that I can go back and change it, but when you have 20 different things on that one section that you're like, I want to change. It becomes a bit of a chore, you know, because then you gotta
right. So there's a knock-on effect on lots of other things as well when you want to chop and change just one or two.
Automations, man, and you know, it's just the idea's there. It's a lot of you. It'll start to.
Yeah, but I certainly am not belittling anybody. I've got more.
Oh no, I know you're not. I know you're not. I'm not definitely.
I think you guys do an absolutely amazing job.
Yeah.
I do personally. I think what you guys do, and that's why I just like. You know, I feel a connection with the people, but I just don't know if people take me seriously. Like, you know, that's the thing I don't know, because lots of other DJs out there, and they got their own channels, and you know, they've got their links and hook up with artists. But I don't know. I just do my thing, and if people like it, then great. Like you've admired me on that before, haven't you? Just do your thing, and that's all you can do, and let the people decide what they want to do.
I mean, it's the end game, you know, and the reason why. Honestly, I'm the same way. I wouldn't really mess with social media if I didn't have to. And I don't have to, but the thing about it is, like...
But I feel like, see, when you put... It's almost like... Have I got the wrong impression?
No, right.
Maybe because I'm not social media savvy,
That's
but...
okay.
If I put on social media, I don't come across I'm seeking attention or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? I'm not looking for any sort of reassurance in terms of likes. Do you know what I mean? It's not... I don't want to come across like that's not the reason. If I did, I'd only post people to say maybe look, these guys are out there made fantastic tunes, listen to it. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
it's nothing for me personally, honestly. I genuinely don't see anything as in for me. If anything, it's harder for me to force. I find it really hard.
Well, then there's no problem, you know? It's like if you are being true to yourself, to your music, to whatever your passion is, you're just using the tools available to you. Nobody's gonna really judge you or create all these like, oh, he's just X, Y, and Z in, because that just means they're not doing it either, you know? Like it's a lot of judging happening if you're not in there doing it. Because once you're in there doing it, I promise you, you are not trying to judge other people trying to make it work and promote their stuff. You know what I mean? There is a way you can come off, of course. You know, you can come off as needy, or you can kind of do the format kind of wrong, so it just looks like junk, you know? So there is a way to do it. But even myself, like I need to do it 6 times more often than I'm already doing it. Because it's not about trying to get attention. It's not about, for me, it's about that next guy out there that like really finds that song of mine that he just connects to and it changes his life in a good way.
But that's how I see it as well. So, is this how most people sort of perceive Facebook as? I'm new to it, you see, so I don't know. I know a lot of people post shit stuff up on there, you know.
Well, you post what you want. It's your world. It's your page. Like, don't look at it as you're visiting Facebook to post on Facebook on their site. Look at it as it's your page. It's your world. You put whatever you want on your world. You know, you have to just, especially for me, because whatever I want, well, I want music. So, you know, so how can I put music on there where it's not like I'm spamming you every day with a track? You know what I mean? So I'm finding ways to creatively try to give content for my music, for my people, but to also bring awareness to melodic progressive, to DJs that are doing it, just for people that are like
that honestly is my main goal. Honestly, that's how I see my goal. That, you know, I feel like this is I don't know. I mean, I feel as though maybe not many people are so aware of this sound.
Mm-hmm.
People are so much into the mainstream, the popular, in terms of pop stuff.
Yeah.
So this is, I feel like, let's get this out there to people who maybe come across it for the first time.
Yeah.
And there have been people that have come across it for the first time and thought, wow, this is amazing, I've never heard it. And I think that gives me the most satisfaction. People sort of hear it for the first time when they like it, because it is different, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I almost sometimes think of it as a little bit, it's like trance, but a much slower version of trance, basically.
I actually agree. Like, I didn't think of it as
but without all the serious, like, you know.
I was talking to
real
Kevin,
heaviness.
and we were talking about how melodic progressive house and progressive house, the differences, and if there are any, you know. And he said he didn't really see too much differences, like, you know, he could see them the same, but I was like, nah, man, progressive house completely different from melodic progressive house, all right? Because, you know, and I went into my whole spiel about it, you know. It's going to be in one of the earlier episodes, but I did go into my spiel about it, where I just feel like I don't even really feel like my genre is even progressive house at all, you know. I just call it that because it's just close, as close as I can
How
get.
do you define the genre? I genuinely don't. Sometimes myself, I don't even know where it falls under. I'm just like, I like this sound, I like this music. I don't know what you tell me. This is it.
My genre is the
it's like
cool
your
breeze.
stuff,
That's
and
my
then
genre.
compared to some of the other stuff, it changes. It varies quite a lot. So
Yeah.
I don't know what to call it, to be honest.
It's
I
just music, man, and it's
yeah.
happiness.
It's
It's
just
love.
music.
It's just so, it's motivational. It's uplifting.
Yeah.
It inspires me. Just when I make it, and I've literally make it, man, and I would be so just uplifted by this track that I'm making that it would bring tears to my eyes. And I don't really like cry on a daily basis or anything, you know. So like, something to bring tears to my eyes like this, it's just it does that because it's so pure, man. Like, I feel so
it's pure and powerful,
open. I feel so free. I feel like I'm truth, you know. Like, this is me. This is my soul, and
you expressing yourself.
man, it's such a good feeling, and I just love it. And it wakes me up in the morning, you know, because it's just like, I can do this, and I want everybody else, I just became this like miniature superhero for music, where I'm like, anybody else who's having a bad day, superhero Zafer is gonna come in and save your life with some melodic progressive house, you know, and bring you back to life, and let you know that you can make it. We all on this together. We can do this, you know.
You know, Z, that I've got quite a varied taste. You know that channel represents that sound. Yeah. I could probably do 3 or 4 different channels, because I do actually have another channel as well, which I don't know if you've come across, but that's very low key. I've not tried to promote it in any way. I've just done a few mixes, because there is another sound that I like, but I've just labelled it differently as like myself and my brother, like back-to-back sets. Because this is how we used to play back in the day. You know, you used to mix with. So we both I've kind of created a new channel. It's not the main one, but just every now and then I'll put a set up that we both kind of like. It's like other sounds, more tech house,
you should.
more sort of like, you know. So I've got that up there, and I'm going to do a set actually. I'll put one together, so I'm going to post it, but I don't post that on my other channel, the main channel.
So you don't want nobody to listen to it.
I've tested the
You don't want
water.
anybody to listen to it.
I've tested it.
Is that what you're saying? You don't want anybody to listen to it. That's why you don't post it.
Because I've tested it with a couple of sets before, and I don't think they went down as well. And I'm like, wow, it's fucking amazing. This music is awesome. I think there was a Matthew Decade set I did. I attributed the whole. It's going back a bit now. Have you heard of Matthew Decade?
I have.
Have you heard much? it was more on the trancey techno sort of type melody. You see, one thing about him, right, you see, even though he's back from that day onwards, his music that I found, it was that melody, you know, the way he brings the melodies in and the way he's not more funky. But it was that music that really got me into this sound, to be honest. But then gradually, as I've gotten older, I wanted to just calm it down. I don't want to headbang and shit, you know what I mean? I wanted to more relaxed kind of feel to it. But certainly, I highly recommend listening to maybe that. I don't know what you think of that.
Well, hey, man.
And another one I did actually, I did a classic one, a vinyl set, you know, just with vinyl, all classic vinyl mix. Now, I think a lot of my listeners don't even know how half the artists are because they like that fucking old, you know what I mean?
That's amazing, dude. That's amazing.
So, again, I knew that, you know what, this is not for them, they don't understand, they don't know these artists, these are brand new, old school artists that they've never heard of. Right. So I've done another channel, I don't know if you've come across it or not, it's called Rash ID, EMP. IMIP.
Oh, okay. You have to link it to me. I'm not really sure.
There's about 2 or 3 sets on there. I'm going to put another one up in the next few weeks. Just to give that, it's more that club sound. You know, when you go here, the likes of, proper like superstar DJs and just fucking rocking, you know what I mean? It's that kind of music. You listen, you like that or so.
All right, that's exciting. All right,
you like that kind of
music. I got to let it go here, man. I got to cut it off. But before we do this, man, I want you to shout out anybody or anything you want to shout out, and make sure you drop a way for everybody who's listening. Drop a way for them to follow you and look you up right now to know more about you. Go.
I just want to give a shout out to all my listeners and each and every one of them that's gone on to listen to my channel and subscribe to my channel. You know, I'm very grateful. I totally appreciate all of those listeners.
Awesome, man.
Other than that, keep listening. My YouTube channel, you can follow me on there, on Facebook and on Instagram. So look out for me on those particular links. Right. So yeah, just a big thank you to all of my listeners. You know, I really appreciate it. I'm shocked at how it's developed, but yeah, I'm not stopping now.
That's what I want to hear. And also, Rash, I want to thank you personally for supporting me on Patreon for as long as you have. You are one of my Patreon supporters, and I just want to let you know, man, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for supporting my vision, for supporting my work, and being a part of the Cool Breeze, man. You have a special place in my heart in melodic progressive house because, you know, you have helped push out this music that's coming out by supporting me. So thank you so much, man.
It's no problem at all. It's my pleasure, brother. Big shout out to you as well, bro. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for you and your support throughout this time, and you know, on this musical journey, it feels like it's awesome having you on board. And you're a great guy, you know that. And I'm just really happy to be part of this and part of your journey. So, great, man. Fantastic.
Yeah, man. I'm great to have. It's great to have you along the journey, man. Because together we are changing the world one tune at a time.
That's it, man. Me and you are gonna rock it, man.
Progressive house. You know what I mean? We are changing the world. No, but yeah, for real though, we're just trying to make people happy. We're trying to make people smile, man. We're just trying to bring some happiness in this dark world that can kind of bring you down. And thank you for being a part of that, man, because that's all I'm about. All right, everybody, that's it for episode 5 of the Cool Breeze podcast. I want to thank you for being with me and being part of my journey. It was so good to talk to Rash and see life from his eyes as a DJ. Be sure and support him for me. Go to his YouTube, go to his SoundCloud, go to his Facebook. Just show him some love. Drop him a like, follow, a little subscribe or something to make his day. Just make him smile for me. I would love that. And that's going to conclude it for today. But before you go, if you could just tweet this out or share this around or just even leave a comment below about what you thought about the podcast, what you liked about it, even what you didn't like about it. And it'll help inform me about what I can do in the future. As usual, I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for hanging with the Cool Breeze.